Greetings, everyone. I want to take this time to say thanks to the person who sent me this photo. I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday, but it couldn't have come at a better time. The imagery is just so powerful and just helps me to have a deeper meaning of some of the things that I'm going through in my life at the moment. In this video, I'm going to talk about a young friend of mine, Kemar, who is not just a person that I met online, but he has become like a son to me. And when he shared a story on the weekend, it really touched me. And I thought I'd take his story to sort of break some things down for those of you who are listening. If you are watching the channel for the first time, welcome. And there are so many people that watch the channel, but they're not subscribed. I'm not sure how to read that because quite a large number of people watch daily, but they're not subscribed. So feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Okay. Now, on the weekend, Kemar so happened to be on a break from, his job. And he went to a neighborhood and he said the neighborhood is one, where it's one of those neighborhoods that's a little bit rough. And he met this woman who said she was a refugee. And I think he met her at a supermarket or maybe in the vicinity where the supermarket is. Anyway, while he was in the supermarket, he noticed that she had a small amount of things in her shopping cart. And when she told him she was a single mother and she was a refugee, he decided to pay for the small grocery that he saw in her cart. So he asked her to wait at the cashier and then he was going to grab something that he needed for himself. And when he came back, the supermarket cart was full. And he paid for the groceries. And while he was doing that, she ran and she picked up 3 cans of formula. And so what was supposed to be perhaps $100 became 200, if I remember correctly. I think the formula alone was $50. And this young man, wanting to do something good, ended up feeling so cheated, felt like a fool. He didn't really have it like that. He was just trying to share his little with somebody else. And I feel it because, that same day, he blessed me too. Because when I was going through my account, I saw that he put something in my PayPal. And now, to be honest with you, he is the only person who has ever done that without me coming out to say, I have a plea, I'm doing some fundraising for somebody. He's the only person on my channel that's ever done that. And so I know where his heart is. I know he's a kind person. And one of the worst things is when you are a kind person and when you go out to bless people, they take disadvantage of that. They take your kindness for weakness. It is not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to go out with the intention of doing good and end up feeling used and abused and violated. What that lady had done was tantamount to really violating this young man. And you could say to yourself, well, nobody forced him. But I think sometimes people find themselves in a situation because he offered to do this thing for this woman. He felt almost embarrassed to say no. And I'm telling you, Kemar, if you're listening, that the next time, and we discuss this, the next time, do not feel terrible about saying no. In my opinion, when you went to get your item and came back and saw her grocery cart full, you should have walked right out. You should have just left her right there at the cashier. We have to learn to say no, especially when we see that energy, because it's not that lady, it's the energy that is attached to her, that spirit that is destroying her, because these people who are so greedy, they don't realize that this energy that is upon them, that is depleting them of anything positive happening in their life, because they feed it, so it stays with them. And so when you see this kind of person, anyone you go out to help, if they tell you lies to get your money, if they you give them stuff and it's never enough, if they cannot just say thanks and walk away without trying to see you as a fool, you have to recognize these ones as working with some energy that is destructive. And you don't want these kinds of spirits to be attached to you, because listen, these energy that exists with these type of persons or individuals, they have feelers. They know people are kind, and they will latch onto you. So sometimes when you look and you are walking in alignment with the will of God for your life, and yet when you look around you, everything is falling apart, it's because of who you're giving and sharing your blessings with. So this woman, so it's not like Kemar looks like some big, mature, wealthy man. Kemar looks very young for his age. 21 years old, he looks like he could easily say he's 17. So I don't understand how a woman could see a person looking so youthful, so young, to offer kindness to her, whether she's faking the story or not, to offer kindness to her and to abuse him that way. And I know some people say, well, it was his choice to do. He felt pity for her and decided to help her because she mentioned her children and he saw her with her kids. This is why some people do not get blessed. Some people are actually cursed. And when you share your love and your blessings with them, you pick up that. But I pray against that for you, Kemar. I pray that the energy that she used to attract you to her and to try to violate you, it will not stay with you. It is diminished. It is cast to the far corners of the earth. And I pray that it is behind you now and that you will no longer attract these kinds of persons to you. Some of the people that we help, they are cursed. They're cursed. And their load is never, ever going to be emptied. And when you help them, it's like pouring water in a basket. Be very careful. It really hurt me to the core when I heard what this woman did to this young man. And again, you're going to have individuals say it was his choice. He agreed to pay for a small portion of groceries for this woman. And when he turned his back and when he returned, the woman filled her cart. And as if that was not enough, she went back and got more feeding for her baby. Don't be afraid to say no to these kinds of person. By saying no, what you're doing is destroying that demonic spirit that is attached to them and that greed. Sometimes you see people out there begging. They should stay where they're at. It is their wickedness or their, cunning and conniving ways that keep them in that place. She certainly was not in need. She was just a very greedy person who found someone to violate. But here's the thing, Kemar, it's a test for you and a deep lesson. I'm sure when you left there, you actually felt depressed. You intended to do good and you walked away feeling like you did something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong, and you're going to learn from it. There are people in the world who have these kinds of demonic spell or spirit attached to them, and you just want to know them and avoid them. Greed is one of those spirits. Okay, the spirit of lying is also one of those spirits. They lie a lot and they will take from a baby. So you have to pray for discerning spirits so that when these ones come to you with their lies and the conniving way, that the spirit will reveal them to you. But lesson learned, Kemar, do not get to the point where you don't want to share or be kind anymore. Just be careful and ask for the spirit to reveal people who are not genuine. And there are many. There's so many people will take disadvantage of kind people or good people. Lesson learned, my friend. Stay blessed, everyone.